Check, check. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Bass and Bonsai, back in the house, got another unboxing. But before we get to that, I've been comparing the new Steez. Can you guys even tell which one's which? Of course you can by the knobs, right? Steez Limited, shallow spool, LingL variant. You guys tell me, like, it is almost a carbon copy. I've done some measurements. I'm not going to tell you the exact measurements, but basically the Steez Limited or the original Steez T-Wing, the LingLs are almost a direct copy, even down to, let me show you. I talked about it in the unboxing. The drain holes, look at the drain holes. See them over here? 1, 2, look right here. 1, 2. Like, they left this solid because this is a carbon frame. They're actually, the Steez is, I think, a touch overall narrower than this, just by a hair. Palming, when you put them on a rod, and I'll try to show you, let me flip this upside down again. You can make out right here, this part, if you palm like I do all the way around, I can feel that is a sharper feel than on the Steez. And then from the side and the top, the Steez itself is actually a smaller reel by just a hair. Let me try to... So they set... The Steez sets a touch lower just for the fact it's a touch smaller. But if you look here, see how that's almost straight? Like it's a straight line almost where it comes off onto the top plate here. The LingLs actually is kind of a bulb here. It goes up a little bit, but then it goes down. So right in here, palm smaller on the Steez, but this piece here actually sets lower on the LingL. If I measured from like here to here, and then here to here, this sets a little bit lower. But when you're put them on and filling them, you can't. And the way I palm, you guys have probably seen me palm before. I grab all the way around, and actually my fingers, how they set in here, can bother me on certain reels. And these reels are comfortable, but I can actually feel that is not as smooth the transition as this is on the Steez. So the Steez in my hands actually palms a little bit better feeling than this. If you guys remember right, I believe it was when the Real Test, and I know I keep talking about the Real Test, when he unboxed his LingL, first talked about it, he talked about it palmed better than his Steez due to this, but he kind of palms like this. And I keep all my, like, I feel when I've done it like this before in the past, but like if you get in the habit of doing like this with a heavier rod, in my opinion anyway, I've actually, and maybe because I'm older, I feel like it puts a strain on my hand, like on setting a hook on a bigger, you know, well, anything 15-pound or heavier in your, you know, jig or whatever. I feel I need that all of my hand up underneath. But so how I palm, that part right there doesn't even come into play. And I think this is a little bit narrower here, but then this does round up on the LingL. But anyway, these reels are just so close in the design. They've definitely directly, they had a Steez sitting there when they had whoever designing this to get close. Yeah, 2 live streams in 1 day. I know, I'm insane, right? So I haven't really figured anything else out on this reel other than I think it's greased real, I won't say heavy, but I think they got plenty in there. I can tell by how much grease they've got up here in the worm gears and everywhere. So I can't expect it to be as free-filling as my Zillion anyway, because it's well broke in, and it does have heavier, actually the whole handle assembly, the drag stuff, all that's spinning, rotating mass, just like it would be on a spool, is more weight. So I think it's going to feel a little freer. If you guys remember right, I was comparing this to the Bantam, and the Bantam is almost the same amount of kind of weight because it has 90 millimeter handle also, same exact knobs. And I think the Bantam is just a touch freer feeling, smoother maybe overall. But it's like so close, but I think it is just a slightly over this Zillion. Well, the new Steez, even though it's more money right now, because 85 millimeter I think, and the fact there's not as much weight there, and the fact it's brand new with the oil, like however many times I've spun it, it's all it's been spun. So I think it's like right there with the Zillion, but it's not. I think it's only going to free up a little more, and then I'll once I fish it and whatever, then I'll be able to tell you more about it. Most of these others, the Zillions, I got them brand new back last year, the one, and so the everything else other than the LingLs, the Bantam was bought used, well used, I think, unfortunately, but it seems fine now. No drag clicker, that sucks. So before I get to the unboxing, I also wanted to say that I like these reels. The LingLs, I know they're not a Steez, but for 550 bucks, you know how many of these you can buy? A lot. They're not going to last as long. They're not going to resell for who knows what. But the Crony, and I need to jump on there and just buy it. When I last looked today, that Crony that's like, it's basically like this, different handle, drag star, and it does have, I think it's the same, it's FTB style braking, but it's got a pink spool, or the lightest purple you've ever seen, but I think it's pink, and then it's got a few different pink, something up around here that's pink. The Crony. It's on sale for $80 right now. I think shipped and all, maybe that probably had tax, I don't know, but it was like $113. So they've dropped like $35 off of that reel if you guys want to pick up one. That's the cheapest way at the moment to get FTB style LingL off AliExpress. The LingL just like this, you can find called LingLong. You can get it just like this for 100 or 109, and then there's also a deeper spool, comes with different knobs. And I've already ordered the deep spool. It won't fit in this reel, but it'll fit in the couple other variants I have because they have the different braking. So I'm thinking I might just order that Crony. I don't know. It's like 80 some dollars just to get it, have it, see what it is. I don't know if I want to keep it. I already have 4 of the LingLs now, or the variants. I've got the Joker, which is basically a LingL with the green frame. I've got this reel here, which was the leftovers off this reel, which actually I'm starting to like this reel more and more. Just what it is, because it does have a deep spool. I can do different things with it. These are pretty much, you can go powered BFS, but they're pretty much 10-pound line braid, and they hold just enough to fish right. This one I could go 15. I could actually go 10 on this spool, and then go down to 4 6-pound leader or whatever, you know, finesse fish, BFS fish. But then I could put the deep spool in of say 15 or 20 and go regular fish. I like that option. If you guys remember, we weighed the spool in the last video. This spool and the Zillion are pretty much very close in weight. They weigh about 13 grams with the bearing. And I was just going to show you on this reel. Now this isn't probably as capable all around, but for BFS, and I may have to even check those out, because you can still get this kind of performance. You got to get the MK9, which unfortunately I think it's the worst reel of the bunch, but you can still get it. And it comes with the red spool, which I think I have line on mine right at the moment. I'd weigh it, but we're going to see what these spools weigh. They still have the bearing on them. 9.4, is that right? This thing looks like it's setting weird. Let me zero it out. Let's try it again. So yeah, 9.4. That is, I'm guessing, under an 8-gram spool with the bearing gone. And I can already tell you it's a very capable. I added the magnets, if you guys remember right. If you have one of these, any of the LingL variants that have the MagTrack style braking, it pays to add those little 0.5 millimeters. I just put the 4 that came from the Dark Wolf Ultra fiasco, right, we got into back in the day. since that's what I had. They seem to work fine. They let you adjust it and work real well. If you don't add that, you kind of tend to have to run it with the brake. It's kind of like the Casking Zephyr. You kind of have to have the brakes all the way up, and it is doable, but you're better off to add those magnets, and you got more braking power. It just helps overall. Trust me. Those neodymium whatever magnets are well worth the money. Just go ahead and buy some. Get them off AliExpress. Pick you some up. You can use them for all kinds of stuff. So this reel, I still have not torn apart. Tomorrow's when all the grease is coming in. I should be able to, for sure, this reel here, over here, hiding in the shadows. Let me shut this off. That reel hiding in the shadows definitely needs some grease and love. This one does, and so does the LingL. This guy does not need anything. I'm going to leave him alone for now, stock stuff. But this reel right here, I know it needs grease, but they just still feel good. Charles, we've used them now for, not heavy, but they're over a year old now, I think. And they all still, the gears feel good. Oh, this one's got the line making noise. This guy is kind of so free that I think it needs grease too, but man, they still feel good. I can't complain about those reels. This guy is crazy free. Crazy free and loud, but if you remember, I put that's got a hybrid ceramic bearing, one in it, and it is a loud bearing. Probably need to just squirt some oil in it. But that TDZ, TD Ito, it's a TDZ basically. It is crazy free right now. It is probably the freest feeling one I have at the moment, but it just needs greases, I think, why. Once I grease it up, it probably won't feel any freer than any of these other ones. But that's old school stuff, and it still feels good. There's not any resistance. It's not as free as the Calcutta Conquest, but it's probably the next in line over all the others. I'd call it the next in line of how free it is, but it's the lack of oil. Next one would be the Bantam or this guy. Probably the Bantam, then this guy. Then, honestly, it's these two... not this one. This one, I think, has some grease. It's probably these two LingLs are actually freer than my brand new reel, but it's because it is loaded with grease, I'm sure. I can tell by feeling it. And by looking at the worm gear. Okay, I can't get enough of this reel. Let's make some room. We got to do an unboxing here. Come on. Jeez, how many reels does a guy need to fish with, right? We're going to need a bigger boat. Charles, we're going to need a bigger boat. Matt's got a big boat. Going to attempt to do tournaments with Matt. If you guys, those of you that haven't heard that announcement, going to attempt to. How long will it last? We have 3 packages coming from AliExpress. I don't even know what it's like Christmas. I ordered these during I think this is the stuff that shipped right before the Chinese New Year started or whatever. And some guys kind of did me dirty. They didn't ship the stuff when they should have. So the Bantam, we've got to put drag clicker now in our new Steez, in our new to us Bantam, in the PW100 old school dog that I'm bringing back in. This guy, where's he at? I got to rebuild him. It's like the $6 million reel. We can make it better, stronger, faster. I'm trying to get this package open. I need a bigger knife. Hang on. I'm going to do it. And we did it. I took all I had. Oh, I know what this is. Here, this may be the drag star, I think. Close to nature. Enjoy life. Words to live by, right? Stream angler. Creeks and streams. Yeah, we don't need that. We got enough purple ones of those floating around. There it is. I think these were on sale for like $14.50 or something, so I bought another one. Is it scratched up, scuffed up? Nah, we don't care. That part gets hidden. I think these are a direct copy of the ZPI ones that... Yeah, that is a little bit of a scuff right there. Look at that. This is going on this anyway, I believe. A little bling on it. I don't think that will fit on there, but so yeah, he's already got a home. What other packages we got? Let's see what this is. Close to nature, enjoy life while you're making your way to the dump. All right, what? Let me take a peek. Oh boy, what did I order? Honestly, I'm like, what is that? I remember what this is. Havoc. Now, how did I end up with the Berkeley bait coming from AliExpress? That's from straight out of China. I don't know. Who knows? Berkeley Havoc, Vic Minnow. What is it? This looks like some old Papa Sick Fish. Does that sound right to you guys? Pro Designed Bass Baits. Anyway, we got a soft-bodied swim bait. Where's the hook even at on that sucker? I don't even see a hook. Is this one you got to put? I think maybe this is just a bait you got to rig up. You guys know, I get on that Fireball. Who knows what I'm going to order off AliExpress. It looks good. We're going to get it. So yeah, this is like one of those line throughs maybe. I don't know what this, I don't even know what we got here. What did we get ourselves into? Dude's got an eye out already. Eye scratched up. Let me smell it. It smells disgusting. Doesn't smell like a scent. It smells like nasty 50-year-old rubber. Oh well, we'll find a use for it. It's actually a good color. Got a little bit of blue, purple line. Almost a chartreusey tail. More like a faded out, whatever. But get in there. I have handles and knobs and other stuff coming, drag clickers, all kinds of stuff. Oh, our other chatterbaits are also due in. Let's see what this is. Save the biggest package for last. Well, ooh, how many's in there? Just one? What in the world did I get? Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. Oh, this isn't even from AliExpress. Let me explain this to you guys, and I don't even know what to do about this. You guys tell me. Okay. What pound line do I use? Well, that varies. Line, I try to simplify my line from 10-pound test braid and then 15-pound test braid is what I was doing. Now I've got 20-pound test braid, 15 or 18, and then 10. But I kind of try to run braided line in some sense, like think of it as if you were fly fishing. If you've ever know about fly fishing, like you don't rate fly line by the pound test. You use fly line as to what you need to get the job done. A shooting taper, or this or that. You don't go by, oh, I fish with 10-pound, fly line. No, your tippet material and all that. So what I try to do to make it easier for me is, like, if I know I'm going to be throwing heavier baits, heavier rod, bigger hooks, I need a stiffer hook set, then I go with that 15 or 20, and then I consider my leader as my tip material. Like, do I only need 15-pound test? Do I need to downsize to 10 for clear water? That's how my mind works when I'm running braid to leader. So I've never really found the need. I've ended up trying a 6-pound. A 6-pound test braid is so small, and in my mind, it's hard to work with. And my old eyes, it's harder to work with, and I don't gain any, I guess, distance. In my mind, it only makes it harder to fish with 6-pound over 10 in the little bit of distance. And I don't even know if you call it ease of casting, because I feel that 6 and 10 I can cast as easily with 10 as I can with 6. Same thing for expensive braid. It's like, why am I going to spend a ton of money for expensive braid if I'm just upsized anyway? If I'm out really doing small creeks and streams, I'm running, say, and I usually only go down to 6 pound test leader. So I've got 6 pound test P-line original. That is one thing I do go by on my leader material. I try to stick with P-line original copolymer, only found on Tackle Warehouse. But so I'll go 6. I used to go 6, 8, and 10, but then now I'm like, I'm just going to run 6 pound, or I'm going to jump to 10, or I'm going to 15 pound braid with the 15 pound P-line original. Now, this last season, I started messing with 18 pound line. I got 20 pound now, and I've still only got 15 pound P-line original, but I'm probably going to maybe get a 20 pound P-line, and I may try. I keep hearing all this about the Sunline, right? Sunline Sniper. Sunline Sniper. I'm thinking about trying 20 pound test fluorocarbon. Maybe, but they want $25 for 165 yards. I can buy close to 1,000 yards of 18 to 20 pound braid for that much money. Or, yeah, meters or whatever. So, back to my deal here. Yeah, Nate says he likes the P line, the CXX, and moss green. I think that may be the line I tried back in the day. It's been out for a little while. I tried, and the reason I like P line for my leader material, that was the best line just to put on a bait caster, in my opinion. Now, it had some memory, but it just worked. Like, it didn't kink up and get as bad as fluorocarbon when you did have a spool up or backlash, but it was manageable. And I don't know, I just ended up running P-line original. The P-line I think that Nate's talking about, or something like it, it was a green color. That line just, I thought, in my head, it had too much memory, but yeah, for a leader it'd be fine. But I tried, is it Seaguar Red Label? Fluorocarbon was probably the best fluorocarbon I liked anyways. Fairly affordable, and it did work pretty good. But the reason I went away from fluorocarbon as the whole line, first of all, it is just harder to cast, work with. It's less forgiving. Like I don't know, you can be a moron with braid and you don't really hurt anything. So let me explain my dilemma now, as I don't know what to do about this, honestly, because I don't think anybody's charged me, but I messaged, and I'm actually happy I got it. I messaged Luz, right? You guys remember me talking about I wanted 13 fishing, the boss, I want to get a handle assembly. And the Luz, the new reel, I want to get a handle assembly, right? And I asked you guys. Nobody commented how to go about doing that. So I took it upon myself to message Luz and 13 Fishing asking about getting a handle assembly. So before I did that, I looked up the schematics and I saw the, what number, 72X or whatever. I found the part number basically, and I messaged them like, I need to know, like, I didn't tell them I had a reel, I didn't have a reel, I didn't mention anything, I never gave no info other than who I was. And this lady started messaging me back, and she's like, okay, I'll get on that, and I need your shipping address. Okay, so I sent her my shipping address, and lo and behold, look what I have. Now, how in the world did I message Luz just asking about this, and they sent me one? They surely don't know Bass and Bonsai, right? So I guess I need to contact them back and ask, like, how do I pay for this? But it is very awesome that I have one. Look at this. This was a surprise to me. So yeah, I was asking for one of these. We could put it on this. They show up the same day. Let me make a little room here. I'm sure the knobs will not fit. That is a downside. These should be just like Abu Garcia. They'll have a bigger bearing. But not necessarily, but see, look at that. Even the carbon fiber is a touch thicker, I think, than the normal stuff. That is a very awesome looking handle. I don't know what it costs, but I guess I got to pay for it somehow or another. So let's just do a quick little review on these. You can tell they do have like a seam there if you really look. Those are just cool. And I love the way I went up to Rogers and I was checking out the new loser reels. This is off the Elite TI, and then the Pro, the purple one, and out of both those reels, what I liked better than anything was the handle assembly. Now those reels are good, don't get me wrong, but they're the same price as this reel. I would rather have that, first of all, just because if I decide to sell it, I know the resale on this, it'll hold its value over any lose reel. They just will. But I'm not knocking the lose. And if you do go to buy a lose, the one thing I didn't know until I got to Rogers, and I was actually, because I don't pay attention to, we don't read instructions. The Lose Elite has a magnetic braking system, and it's kind of a new version style. The Pro, the purple one, is not. It's centrifugal, more like the old MG Extreme 2. So I didn't realize that until I was up there and I popped the side plates off both of them. I'm like, oh, this is a whole different braking deal. So at the time, Rogers was actually having a discount. They were almost $100 off on each one, but still 429 for the Elite TI, and then like 329 for the Pro. I knew I was probably going to end up getting the Steez. But anyway, look, I got the complete assembly just by messaging them. Don't you guys go do it. You don't need this. But I'm sure at some point they'll be messaging me back going, oh, we never did collect. And I'll be like, okay, how much? Like, oh, never mind. I reviewed it. I'm sending it back. This honestly would go good on, oh boy, look at this. Now we're playing with power with the LingL. Yeah, Nate says he has the loose KVD reel. I was looking at those. Yeah, the dual. I like the idea of the dual braking system. I hate the fact that I had that Carbon Light 2.0 reel. It cast good. Then the gears went out like in a weekend. I don't know what was up with that. And I know they tell me to like get another one. It's probably a fluke. Try it, but it palms a little. I don't know. I was definitely impressed with the casting, and I remember them from in the past. They have, one of the older, cheaper Revos had the dual braking. Actually, I think I liked it over the MG Extreme 2, which just had that, I don't even know what they call it, ICB4 or some kind of crap. I think that's what the Lose Pro, not the Elite, has. But that is cool that I got that. Like, okay. But yeah, that's insane. Who just sends somebody that by messaging them? I don't know. That lady did. Thank you very much, lady. Thank you, crazy lose lady. We love you. No, I'm sure there's a mix-up somewhere on. I didn't know. I'm not a schemer. I didn't try to like con nobody out of a free hand. I didn't even mention nothing about having a YouTube channel or any of that. Maybe she saw the Bass and Bonsai, because I think it is. I'm under Bass and Bonsai on the thing I sent. I don't know. What do they say? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right? Should I put it on something now? Let's just set that back and look at it. Like, honestly, on this, just with another couple gold accents somewhere, just a touch. A drag star would probably be too much. A gold drag star. But maybe actually just this gold, just what it came with. With that, it needs something else if I were going to try to. Now, I do have a gold and silver spool tension knob that's coming. It's actually intended for the Zillion, but I could try it. It won't hurt nothing just to try it, see what I think. That would be, because I do like the way these feel, and I need to compare them. Let's move this. Let's move the high dollar reel out of the way so I don't scratch it. I was going to compare. So this is a 95 millimeter. That's what I thought. 95 millimeter handle assembly. So I have to get it on. I have to even see if I like the length. But I was also going to compare the size because I love the way these feel. But they are so close. They are, yeah, they're, I think I mean, these feel awesome. I think out casting and reeling kind of stuff, fishing, I think I will like these as good, if not, I don't know. I think they almost have the same feel. The standard old ones that are a lot bigger, they feel good, but they feel a little bulky. Just like when I'm buying these, I always end up cutting these things. That just feels like way too much of a, too big. But I like the round, and I like to be able to just grab and I have it. Well, I feel with these they look better on some of the reels, but sometimes when you go to grab, you always end up like halfway. It's just kind of a comfort thing. But these two styles right here, the new ones, and I hope they just start selling these because then I could track down the other deals on my own, or I just keep messaging that lady and she keeps sending me handle knob assemblies. Oh boy. I need a purple one, ma'am. If we get a purple one, we'll put it on the TDZ. TDE though, sorry. Let me check the. You know what though? They didn't change, did they? Surely not. I think they still have the bigger bearings. I'm not going to check right now, but it almost looks like maybe they went down to smaller bearings. There's a possibility these would fit on one of my handles if I want to just put those on. Because I'm completely dead set until I change my mind. I want to stick with this and that handle on the Steez. I don't want to change that. But if these knobs would fit, and you guys comment, somebody maybe has done this. If it's, I don't even know about the distance from end to end, if it's possible to buy different bearings that are the same outside as the standard Abu Garcia or Lewis, because they typically are a lot bigger on the outside and the inside diameter, but then to where they'll fit the, be a thicker bearing. But if anybody's ever done that swap. Anyway, yep, that I thought that was another AliExpress deal, and that I didn't even look at that. That's I never do. Nope, it came from Rather Outdoors. Oh, it says right here, Republic, Missouri. Wasn't far off. But yeah, I'm gonna message him, and I'm gonna pay for this one. I don't know what it's gonna cost, but I'll be honest. If it's not that expensive, I may get another one because I think I could see myself running this on the LingL. Probably either one, maybe even on the Joker if I wanted to just, if I like that. Nah, nope, nope, I don't like it on him. What about, oh, here we go. I could definitely see me running it on this dude and then add just a little bit of gold. I could actually go back. I got this originally had the gold insert. I put that on the MK9. But anyway, guys, I don't know. You let me know what you think. Should I just shut up and not say anything? Or I should probably message him. Be like, hey, someone there, I don't know what. We got lost in translation, but they sent me, I'm sure they want like $100 for that, right? I mean, almost anything Abu Garcia or lose of this is going to be like 50 something. I'm thinking 75 to $100 for that complete assembly. I'm glad I got it though. I'm gonna, because I've been wanting one now. I can't remember. I think 13 Fishing messaged me back that they were waiting to hear something or another because I want to get the. You know how I am. You guys seen. I want to get this and I want to get that because usually my handles and my handle assemblies they last forever. Back in the single lifestyle, I've got the old original one back from years ago. That because you can take them off, swap them out, and put the stock stuff back on something when you sell it, and then you get accustomed to a handle and whatever. I can't find the one I'm talking about, but it came off of a. No, theirs is just a stock 80 millimeter dial with the old, a lot of their 80 millimeter or reels that had 80 millimeter handles had that funky one and it wasn't the greatest. And then there's one of the ones from AliExpress cut down. I like these because they were thicker. They just had a thick, tough look to them. I'll be honest, what I didn't like about them was on the back side, they were curved the opposite from a Daiwa. So like where these, see how these curve up? These curve down the opposite way, if that makes sense. So when you look at them like this, if that makes sense. It just, in my mind, it looked kind of weird. Didn't hurt it in any way. But the one that came off the T3 Air is the one I got from a guy. He sold his, he put a carbon fiber, he did something and he sold that one. Here it is. Here it is. You can tell it's still got the red on it from where the I de-anodized. It was black. And that's one I really like. They were made thick, stout. Still worked fine, but it's single lifestyle. I'm going away from that. And the only way to do it is to get awesome 85, 95, 90 millimeter. And actually the LingL is one of those that comes with a very good thick carbon fiber handle that just, I don't know, looks good. It's kind of a little different, but I like it. Looks nice. And of course you got your 80 millimeter ones that all of the Dark Wolf Ultra and variants come with, every one of them, which is an awesome 80 millimeter one. And it's thick enough for being 80 millimeters, but when you get, that thing is actually real thick. I think this may be a little bit thicker. And I don't think this one has the edges sanded down, rounded off at all, what makes it look a touch thicker. I think this one's been rounded a little bit, but it's still, I don't know, looks nice. Any other carbon fiber ones? Fish band. All right. Anyway, I got to get out of here. Thanks for watching. We got none. Wait, hang on. Everybody's commenting. I got to read some more. Yeah, the Lose reel. I think all of the KVD reel, those seem pretty nice. They're just any of the older Lose that have the point up in the where your thumb goes. I'm kind of shy away from those, but I don't know. I probably should get over that part too and just try one out. But I do actually. I'll be honest. The one I like that feels good and it's reasonably priced is the, oh shoot, is it the Crush or the, whatever the metallic-y orange one is, not the reddish orange, the one Bones I got had. I like the other one, the newest one out. Yeah, I think that the LingL is what this would look like with what I have and whatever with just gold, you know, leave the gold nut and retainer deal. And then when you have these gold, even though it says Lose, we don't care. Look good on the LingL. Now what I'll probably do, and I'm thinking about doing this, is putting one of these, the LingL guts, and putting the deep spool once it comes in this LingL. So, because I think that deep spool coming, I'm going to try it out. I think it's going to be as good all around spool as a lot of other reels. It's a very lightweight and it's not totally deep. And with that little magnet fix I did, I think I can have a very awesome all around reel. That would look good on there. But that looks good too with the, not with these knobs. Now, so if I do that, I definitely don't want the finesse. I don't want to keep the finesse knobs on the LingL. But I also thought about doing that with the Joker too. Now the Joker would look good with the, maybe with the purple ones. Definitely does not look good with that. That just throws everything off, in my opinion. Focus you, focuser. Telling you that with a little bit of gold too, just like the Steez would, with a little bit of gold here and there, that would actually look good too. But I like this one just like it is, all blacked out with the shallow spool. A little BFS Ninja. Right? What about the Zillion, or what about a Zillion HD or the Silver Wolf? Let's see. That would actually look good too. But I like the looks of it right now. I like that 90 millimeter. Who knows? You guys mess with me, I'm gonna go full on crazy, and I'll end up doing this. Oh, I lost the retainer deal. I'll do something crazy. Take the coolest parts you can find and mix and match them where it looks horrendous, right? Yeah, that's what we're here to do. Make it look horrible. Wait, we're not done yet. And here, I don't even know what this came off of. Here, I got a plastic pink. Oh, I know what that's off of. Used to get, if you guys remember right, they had a, oh, who made that thing? They had like a, I called it idiot proof. It was a bait caster that had, you couldn't backlash. You ran a line through the top piece, and when the line came up, it lifted the lever that stopped the spool. It was like a brake for the spool. It was actually a good idea, but made very cheaply on a very cheap reel. I want to say it was Shakespeare. I can't remember the name of it. Look at that. Yeah. What? Oh, stay up there. No, I don't like that either. Dang it. What if we make you a little more subtle? What if we make you a little more subtle? I'm just bound and determined to make this handle look good on the old PW100. It just ain't gonna happen. Maybe? No, absolutely not. It's horrendous. That is a cool drag star that I just haven't found anything I want to put it. Oh, wait. Steez. Where's the Steez? Let's look. We're doing. Don't touch. Get back. I guess, nah. That could go on there, but it's just too, see, it's like, there's no bling bling in it. It's just a matte grayish. But it is metal, and it's a little bit bigger. So technically I could put it on. Nah. Probably not. Alright, that's probably enough. Anybody else got any questions? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the it's called, I mean, look it up and look through there, but I'm pretty sure it's basically a LingL with the different, now the, hang on, let me get my train of thought going here. So he asked about the one I'm talking about, the Crony that's on sale right now for 80 bucks. Just put, CRONY, fishing reel probably, and you should find it. And it's going to look, I can't tell if this stuff is the exact same color, but this is more like just a flat color. I don't think they left it with the marbly texture, almost a raw finish of the frame. So it looks more like subdued, almost like a matte finish on it. And then it's got a pink FTB spool. You can see that is still FTB stuff. I'm guessing it's still dynamic. I don't think they've made it to where it doesn't move like the newer Dark Wolf Ultra, as far as I know. But I'm pretty sure it comes with the drag clicker. Now it's got a black drag star, but I think right in here is pink, and maybe a little piece here, I can't remember, and then the spool's pink. Other than that, it just has a regular like handle assembly, and it may not be carbon fiber, I can't remember. But in my mind, as long as it's like the quality of this, it's worth $80 with that style, if you guys don't have a BFS or you just want another one or whatever. And then the green one that's on there, it's like a black reel Crony with, I think these are, it's got this kind of handle, but these are green. It's got a green spool. It's this kind of braking, so it is still To where you could, though, if you wanted to do what I'm talking about doing, is this style of brake. You could get it with the green spool to do your little BFS stuff, add these magnets, and then get the deep spool off the LingL place for 30 bucks. And then, put bigger line or more line to where if you know you're going to maybe, you still want to throw small stuff, but you might get into big fish to where you are worried about running out of line on one of these shallow spools, and then run that or however. But it's, I want to say 113 or 123 or something like that. But if you remember right, one of these reels, and the tolerances, if you got, and I guess all the tolerances are about the same from so far, except for this one. If you guys remember right, way back in the day when I first did this switch, I would swear that this green frame, the tolerance was a little more open than the LingL frame. Like I think we were dealing with 2-pound test line. I think it could get in there. And the LingL, like if you remember, it would, if it backlashed, it would go up in there, and I was testing it, but it never went all the way through because these things have the LingL spools have that extra little lip. So sometimes if you're looking in there at the gap, I don't know if you guys can see that, there's almost like a little bit taller lip. So when this part is setting inside the frame, it may look like there's a gap there, but that it's a very tight tolerance. Like it's right there. Now this, for some reason, the green frame I didn't like as well for 2-pound anyway. When I was doing testing, jacking around, I think we were trying to throw trout magnets with 2-pound tests is what I was doing. So but it looks very tight still. Like it's, I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, it's still very, like, these are not junk reels. These are, I'm guessing these are the best reels that you can get, on a graphite or carbon fiber framed reel coming out of China. Like, they're built well, work well, and they have to all be coming from the same place. All the different variants you see, they've got to be, they're made for different. There's Xinghe, they're all Xinghe. I don't even know if that's a bigger company, if that's a manufacturing place or what, but they all say Xinghe on them. I think, if you look at them, they may call them something different. Now this one doesn't, MK9, I don't see anywhere where it says that. Here's the other one. Might as well get it out while I've got all the others. This is my least favorite of the bunch, just for the fact that it's one of the cooler looking ones, but it's 8-to-1, and I just do not like the feel of it compared to the others. It feels fine, but it is brass gears, and it's 8-to-1. I think all the others are 7-3-to-1 in their aluminum gears. So some of you may actually like this. The MK9 can still be found on there. I can't think of the name of the bigger company, but they just MK9 bait casting reel. You should be able to find it also, but there's one that looks just like it on the same place that's selling this one. It's more based off like the Casking Zephyr frame. You'll see the little cutouts in here. It looks like it may be a little lower looking, but it's not really. It's a little bit different designed reel, and it's still, though, this gray with the red spool, they look very close when you first glance at them. But this reel also, I want to say 79, 89 bucks, but it comes with 2 spools, and it's still that same, like that. They all interchange. Once you have one like that Crony that's on there now, the MK9, and then this was the turquoise fox. Those variants have the, oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys. I took the roll bearing. I found that I had these. If you guys remember right, I had roll bearings that we bought off of AliExpress back when, and I had them in, I believe, the LingL, and didn't like them, took them back out because I like the quieter stock ones. But I figured, what the heck, I've got them, they're red, and they match this, so I stuck them in the MK9. Plus, that gives me a set of almost, very good bearings, backup bearings for one of these others. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with this reel yet either. I do have, I decided I am going to keep, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I have the Just like the purple drag star we just got in, I've got a red one coming. I went ahead and bought one of those for 15 bucks. So it'll have a, and it's going to take more than $15 though, because then you got to add the other little square piece and then the spring. But I'm going to add red drag star just like this. So it'll, I just don't, something about them short ones. I think I'm going to leave the black one wherever it's at. On this reel, but I'll be honest, I'm tempted to get, and I actually have probably this one I could use if I don't want to use it, but I'll probably put this one. I deanodized one and polished it up. I'll probably put it back on one of the Acuras or something. But I could always just get one and paint it black, because I think I want to keep this one more or less blacked out. I like that. It's not really black, but it's like so dark it is like a black. It's kind of weird. It's actually the same, almost identical color as this one, which kind of looks gray. Even in person, it looks more gray. But when you get them side by side and not a lot of other colors in there, they're almost the same exact color. But good colors and the overall finish. Like these are made to take a beating, and that's what we're going to do with them. Right? We're just going to use them. We're going to fish them. We don't collect. We just fish with what we get. And we got a lot of cool stuff now, though. Wow. We ended up... Tonight was a night. Monday night, it was a disaster at work. I had a bunch of tires put up. Yeah. Afterwards, because I had to pick up a lot, is just a nightmare. But we made up for it, right? I would like to give a shout out to Crazy Lou's Lady. Thank you very much. I'm not even sure... I guess I'll just message her, be like, did you know I didn't pay for that? She'd be like, well, yeah, we replaced it. Like, did you know that I don't even own a Lose Reels right now? She'd be like, you dirty, typical man lying to me, right? Dun, dun, dun. So, yeah. We're going to be throwing jelly beans with some of these reels, and that may be a shootout I'll do, just with everything. Everything I own, we're going to take the jelly bean. You guys know what the jelly bean is, right? Those little bean type size. I don't even know where mine is right now. Here it is. This dude's been through the ringer. That dude right there, we may go and just see if this is capable of throwing it and how far. I think already, yeah, we did that shootout. And then the LingL variants again with our new to us again, which I already bought this, I don't know how many years ago. All these. This dude, maybe even these should be the exact same. Should not be a difference in these. Those should be the same. This and that should be the same, so that'll leave one of those out. But then put this regular SV Boost spool up against the SV Boost shallow spool, up against the Bantam spool even, up against the, wherever it's at, the Dark Wolf Ultra, which will smoke all these, I'm sure, and then even the Calcutta Conquest BFS with the Chameleon spool. And then I'll probably bring out, oh my God, that's going to be a lot of testing, because then I was going to say I'll bring out the Chameleon spool for the, that'll fit in any of your Daiwas that take the 34 millimeter 10 whatever spools. Then we have our other, wherever that crazy $13, our cheapest spool you can get off AliExpress that we bought that actually looks cool. I could put that spool in here with that handle assembly. Probably lose performance, but hey. All right, my typical almost an hour-long video has got to come to an end. I got to eat dinner. So anyway, you guys let me know what you think. What do you think? Do you think I'm nuts? Do you think that this is the best reel ever made? Are you still on the Shimano bandwagon? Were any butts puckered tonight? If not, I really feel let down, to be honest with you. But hey, I like this reel so far, but I still like this reel, and it's a lot cheaper. But the performance, we're going to find out, like, can you justify spending $500 for a reel? Let me be the first to tell you, No, you cannot. But we did it anyway. You can go out there with Black Max, and you can still find a Black Max. I saw one or a couple of them at Walmart when I was in there the other day. You can go out to Black Max and fish and catch some fish. You can't really throw very small BFS stuff, but oh, guess what? You can get a spool off AliExpress that fits in a Black Max still, and you can go out BFS fishing, all kinds of fishing. So technically, you don't need to spend $250 for real, $500, whatever for the old ones. It's all the fun of it, right? But in my opinion, I'm just trying to think what if I was on a budget. I think I'd still try to pull and get the money to get a probably a LingL or Dark Wolf Ultra. If I had to pick one reel, and I guess I'll call these still like $100 reels or cheaper just to go out and use for a lot of different stuff, I would probably have to call. That's a toss up. I'd probably still have to call the Acura that's sitting up there not even doing nothing. Just the fact that the spool, the capabilities, it comes with two spools. The Acura is still probably the reel to beat in that department. But as far as a cool factor and a reel that just works and is a fun reel, it's hard to beat the LingL. All around spool that just gets the job done and doesn't jack around, it's hard to beat this one because it's only half the cost of that one. As far as in my opinion, at this, and I guess the Bantam could be used in there a little more. It's not that it's finicky. I hate to keep using that word finicky. It's not that it's finicky. It's just that it takes more, I guess, of a seasoned hand to get set and work. But this thing does feel. You guys want to compare that real quick as I get out of here? That does feel good. This Bantam is no joke. Awesome reel. Shimano. That is a nightmare. I don't like that, but I plan on working with this reel until I get. I need to decide 2 on, 2 off, or 1 on and 3 off, and then just deal with the dial, right? And then I'm never taking the spool out again ever. I'm just gonna fish it. But as far as reeling, casting, working, like this is an awesome reel. Can't knock it there. It palms better than. It and this palm a little different, but I call them, they feel about as good. And that's why when I was up at Rogers Sporting Goods, they have a regular Steez, and then they had the 22 Bantam. They didn't have one of these. They had this and a lefty, no more rights left, but they had the brand new one. And I was at a toss. I was like, I don't know, because this thing's so heavy, and this isn't that heavy, and this one probably the actual ergonomics of the palm itself are maybe a touch better than this reel, but like once you get them on a rod, the extra weight of this kind of can set you off a little bit to where this one doesn't. It's like about as light as any reel you'll put on a rod. Then you could always add a little more weight towards the butt of the rod to counter that. So very awesome. So here, let's just do a little, let's feel the resistance. Now I got line, you hear it clicking, but that is very smooth. So I still call this freer by a little bit. It's just got something, it's got a little more freeness in the smoothness. No, like I think they're both like the smoothness. I can't really tell. I'd almost say this is smoother, but it's like I feel something there. It's hard to, it's like very close. These, you don't get much better feeling than these guys right here. But that feels very good. Compare it to the new one. You know what? Yeah, I'm almost sure that this is going to feel as good or better than these when it gets. I think I'm feeling the grease. I think it's just because it's brand new, because it feels very good, but there's something. I think you just have the fact that brand new gears, greased, better than these others. That's what I'm feeling. That is crazy free though. That's insane. There's only one reel, two reels that I've had that definitely for sure beat that, and one of them is this dude right here. Insane. Calcutta Conquest BFS. It's insane how smooth that is. It's like I called it before. It's like when you let go, it's like that's falling out of your hand. There's like no resistance there. And smooth. Like it's everything about it is like golden. This is there, but I can almost feel the gear start and a little bit of something there that I can't. It's probably because it's only HG on the Calcutta Conquest. Let me see this. What's funny is, I know, I'm getting nitpicky. What I can almost feel is, does that thing have, is that, I can't remember. Is that aluminum gears or brass? I can't remember. I'd almost swear. Let me put it to you like this. I almost swear that I can feel this to start moving it is just a little more than these other two. But once it starts, it's a freer fill, if that makes sense. It's probably because those micro little teeth, there's less. But the actual gearing itself, just the makeup of the reel, the startup part of it. Because that's what I feel with this reel, with these brass gears and this one. It's funny, but like when you start to turn it, it's definitely like more resistance than all these other LingL variants. But then once you're going, it's pretty free too. But it's just not as free. Now, none of these reels have any kind of bound up feel whatsoever on any of them. This one would be the one that would be the worst of any of the reels I own right now, other than those cheap, funky ones. But that Aldebaran 22, I'm telling you, that it had, and you guys saw it, I did it with the single light, like you watch it like that, it won't almost stick. There was something not quite right with that reel. And the 2 or 3 reels I checked up at Rogers, the newer Shimano's, they also had that feel going. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about this reel. I know these come with drag clickers. Yeah, you're talking about the LingLs. Oh, maybe you didn't know if the LingLs do or not, period. Yeah, the LingLs, all the LingL variants so far that I've dealt with, and I'm pretty sure I saw it on the little listings, all of your LingL variants come with, oh wow, I got the drag tight on that. I had the deep spool in it. But yeah, they all come with drag clicker, so I would almost assume that the Crony of both kinds, the pink spooled one and the black and green one, should have drag clicker stock. The Dark Wolf Alters, almost every China's caught on. The Chinese CDMR, they've caught on. Drag clickers help you sell reels, and they're putting them on all the reels that are coming out. Like anglers want drag clickers on the reels. And I keep hearing a lot of guys talk, oh no, it don't matter. You know, I'm watching YouTube videos. I don't even know what this is about. It's kind of a novelty thing. And I'm like, dude, just wait. You'll be like wanting all your old reels. You'll be ordering kits and any older reels or whatever, you know, you'll have drag clickers on. I'm just telling you, when you get out there fishing and you get a 5-pounder and you're fishing with 15-pound and you can feel the drag going and it's pulling, you're like, man, I wish I had a clicker. I wish this reel had a clicker on it. Now, if you're doing that crazy 40, 65-pound braid or, you know, whatever, in certain things where you got your drag cranked all the way down, but I don't fish like that anyway. So the minute I don't even know when I first knew about drag clickers. I just know we were getting them. I think there were only a handful of reels being made with them. And I want to say, I'm not even sure if it was Shimano or Daiwa, but I want to say it was a saltwater reel was the first one that they came out with a clicker. for the fact that you're going to be chasing some of the, saltwater fish, something that would pull line, and just to give you a faster indication that they were pulling line. But for BFS, it's perfect. But for really anything, like anytime, it's just one other, alarm, a way to alert yourself on what's going on with your line, right? Line management. Not only can you feel and see the line going out, but you can also hear without like looking, or because sometimes it's hard to tell. Like you'll yank, and even on like a hook set, especially, like you'll yank, and like me, when I yank, even though I know I should be tightening the drag, one of the only reasons that let me know was how the sound of the drag clicker going, and I'm like, oh, drag's a little loose, click a notch too. A lot of times that drag will slip, and without that clicker, you may not realize that it's slipping as much as it is, say on a hook set, or, for whatever reason. And if you're trying to get that drag kind of set just right to where the line's not going to break, but it's about as tight as it can go, so you do get a good hook set, that hearing it, feeling it and seeing it all come into play. And so, why would you not want it if you can, add that, to the ability of when you're, whether it be just setting a hook, or if that fish starts pulling, is he just pulling you down, or is he actually peeling line, or whatever. And braid is not as big a deal technically, because you can kind of hear the braid being pulled in and out more so than with fluoro. And then some of the lines you can hear them like start howling at you and different stuff. But definitely BFS, no brainer. They all need it. But regular, I'd say anything 20-pound and less, they'll come in handy. You get up to around 40, 65 pound, you got the drag cranked all the way. But, I mean, you get into a spot where you're trying to yank, say, a fish out of some weeds or something, and, you know, just knowing that you're tightened all the way down drag, if it starts slipping, will maybe give you an indication, oh, I need to do something different. I don't know. All right, guys, I'm definitely out of here. Got to eat dinner. Thanks for watching. Focus. This thing is not going to focus. See you guys later.